nothing ugly in the way that you guys did pull that one out. You know, well, it wasn't the most beautiful game of the day. So.
Okay, I agree.
Let's see, how do you encapsulate what this one was?
Well, you know, I just got done doing radio, and I said, I don't know if this team could ever have done anything like that a year ago, overcome all those things. You know, we had, you know, penalties, unfortunate penalties, you know, we're making stops, we're not driving the ball, we get called reverse, we get flags picked up, we got a lot of things. There's a lot of different ways that a team that doesn't have a lot of confidence would have folded a year ago. And to watch them keep battling, and you know, we probably played a little more on the conservative side and played a little more field position because of who they are as well. And so to find a way and get it done is, you know, I think it says another thing about this team.
Do you have an update? I know it's been fresh on Daniel.
No, I don't. He's at the hospital now. I mean, the little bit I do have is not really in a position right now to make any real comment that's worth putting out to the public. But our doctors and medical staff have done an outstanding job, and you know, hopefully I'll get over there and see him soon.
Lance, did you know your defense had that in them to not only maybe keep you in a game like that, but win a game for you?
Yeah, you know, we have, you know, you see flashes at times, you know, and you see the different parts. I just got done doing it. I think there's times where you saw people at all three levels of our defense making plays today. And that's really encouraging and exciting, and you can build on that and get confidence. And again, some rotational guys are out there quite a bit as well. Yeah, it's encouraging. I don't know if I'm ever one to say, yeah, I think we're gonna, like, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't, Zach said, probably ugly. We had 213 yards on, I mean, we only had 46 plays. I mean, that's not very many. And they had 78. So again, you know, in today's college football world, that's not an offensive clinic, I guess, this time around. But so there's plenty to work on there. But as far as the defense goes, really proud. And hopefully it's something that they will kind of build, because I know we sat in here a lot of days and talked about where that's at, and I think they stepped up today.
You mentioned being conservative largely because of them. Were there times where you considered, hey, let's not be conservative here, let's go for it, or was it kind of just decided pregame maybe?
No, it wasn't decided pregame. I think the game and a little bit of score, but you know, well, to me today's difference was first and second down. Remember we talked about how we had a lot of third longs today. Well, third longs don't give you a lot of chances to go for, you know, in the part of the field that we were at, you know, and we weren't in great rhythm. And again, credit to them. And but 4th and 5 and 6, I don't know if I was ready to pull the trigger on that today. And that's on me. That's my, you know.
First quarter, first half, the offense seemed like it was moving the ball right. What do you think changed in the second half that?
I don't know. They did some things. You know, we depended so much on Jalen, and I think there were some times where, you know, listen to Jim and Andy talk on the headset. I think he was trying a little bit too much. I think there's a couple times where some people open, but he didn't see them. He couldn't, you know, where he was in the pocket. I really thought we had a heck of a chance on the deep ball to Skinner, you know, just slightly overthrown. But again, I go back to first and second downs and just that whole thing of when we're playing really well offensively, it's kind of clicking, you know, and we're getting multiple things, and we're in a really good rhythm playing, and Andy's in a good rhythm calling it, and I don't think we really got into that very well today.
We've talked about resiliency a few times this season. Do you feel like this team has grown in that regard?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you talk about the 2 away games, you know, when you go down 14 and you know, lead Savoy playing overtime again. You do those things. You know, last week was a battle, but you know, as we know, It's not gonna get any easier by any stretch, but I think it's gonna give us a chance to be confident and knowing that we can go in there and play people for 4 quarters and see where it takes us.
Lance, what's the difference in the energy on the sidelines compared, like, for this game compared to the previous ones where the offense was clicking for the entire game?
I don't know, with my headset on, it goes the other side, I can't really tell. I mean, I think there's probably a little bit of, you know, down and out as far as just pure, there's the difference between enthusiasm though and being overly emotional, but not losing, I don't think our confidence waned though, I really didn't. It might be a little bit of, you know, I don't know, there's not a lot to get excited about if it's, you know, a 1 or 2 yard gain. I mean, you know, so how do you, but it doesn't mean our focus or anything was on, I didn't hear coaches, I didn't hear players. I mean, our players were intense on, you know, on some things and making sure communication on the defensive side, but I didn't get a sense that we were panicking or, you know, lost our, you know, being together on it and stuff. And really, I think another thing, everyone, is, you know, when one of your teammates gets taken off on a board, that really can take the wind out of you in a lot of different ways. And it can lose, you know, some of the things that are, because, you know, that becomes pretty darn important. So, I don't know whose phones, maybe got a call coming in or something, but so for us, Stephen, you know, that's another thing we overcame. And, you know, it says a lot about the guys.
Lance, this program hasn't been 5-0 in 13 years. You've been 5-0 twice in 3 years with the year Buffalo, the weird year of 2020. Does being 5-0 here among these circumstances, and even in your background at Wisconsin, the times when you were starting those seasons the way you guys did, does this feel any different?
Oh, geez, I haven't had enough time to think about that. Well, it feels different, and I think we're all trying, you know, because of what this group's been through, but, you know, we've only been here 16 months or whatever the heck it is, and we're focusing on where we're at and what we have to improve and what we're gonna have to move on to for next week. But again, I'm so happy for them because, and holistically, we see what it can do. We can see what it does for this community. We can see what it does in the stands. We can see what it does about pride. We can see what about self-esteem. We can see about togetherness. We can go through a lot of different things, and these are all great things to build upon. Yeah, I think if I really, you know, took a longer time to think about it, based on what everyone thinks, where this program was going to be this year, yeah. But again, as all of you know, you gotta finish the story, right? And we have 7 more games to go.
Lance, I don't know what your measuring stick is. You know, everybody else thinks this team has improved very quickly since you got here. What qualities among your kids have enabled them to grasp your message so quickly and respond so well?
First of all, I appreciate being here as well. And I think it's things like that, is that, you know, upon getting here in May of 21, that was, I still go back to the same things I've said from the start, and that is, I got a sense that they wanted, you know, they wanted direction, they wanted accountability, they wanted discipline, they wanted structure, all the things that you talk about. And then, but yeah, when you're 1-8, sometimes that can be strained about as far as if we use the word buy-in. But this group kind of kept working because there were small things that I always said that we weren't using the scoreboard to measure improvement and where we were headed. I really think we have guys that in our leadership in our area really see that and embrace it. And then when we went into those last, you know, the last quarter of the season, the improvement helped the buy-in, and then it started to show a little bit more. And he started playing those closer games, and he started finding a way to win.
Coach, that Iowa State tight front, it can give offenses fits sometimes. You know, it gave y'all fits today. What was it like preparing for that, and how do you think y'all kind of tried to get some stuff going?
You know, inconsistent, obviously. Preparing for it, it is difficult. I know Andy and the staff have, you know, put a lot of time in on it, not just this week. You saw things that did work. You saw some things that weren't good, and then you saw it where it became a problem. And, you know, until you really dive in, whether it be tonight or tomorrow morning, and look at it and find out where, you know, like most film, it's going to be one guy on this play, and it's going to be another guy over here on this play, and it's going to be something else. And you wish you could say it would be this one thing that caused the major problem, and then we could go address that and fix it. But it's going to be a holistic thing.
I want to get your perspective on Kenny Logan. It seemed like he was all over the field today. I guess, how do you feel like he played, and do you feel like this was his best game of the season?
Yeah, I really haven't seen all the stats. You know, I thought Kenny really showed up. I thought he really showed up in the fourth quarter. You know, Kenny's been banged up the last couple weeks and things, and you know, we didn't use him in kick return, and I'm not saying he wasn't there in the first half, but as you can see, there were some things schematically that we have that allows Kenny, you know, to come down and make some plays, and he made some big stops when we needed him.
Hey Lance, when you go back and look at this, the difference may be special teams. Just talk about what you guys did there.
Yeah, you know, obviously, like they missed 3 field goals, we missed 1, but it's more in the punt return game, and really Morrison's kick return was a nice little spark as well. But you know, Reese Vernon had a nice day. We had a really good day, and probably you know, I would say he's the one guy I don't want to get in the game, and at least that's the main thing he does. But he did a nice job. They doubled Quentin Skinner as a gunner, and I really thought Rich Miller and some other guys, and then Lachlan got down there. I mean, to cause the when the fumble or when he dropped the return. So yeah, I thought we were very good special teams today overall. Again, and when you're struggling offensively, you better find a way in the other 2 phases, and I think today we did.
I asked you this last week, but I know you and the staff were out on the road recruiting. Just what's the reception like?
Yeah, we just got to some games yesterday, and you know, between being at the team hotel and meetings, and you know, now we'll talk more tomorrow and Monday because the coaches were out in schools. You know, I wasn't, but had a chance to interact with a few coaches here and there, and yeah, there's a lot of positivity out there, and it's great, and it's good to see. And the other thing is, it's nice to hear coaches appreciate that we're out there locally and things, and we're gonna keep chipping away there.
Lance, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss.
How
Kobe's
many?
in
Give me that again.
5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss.
We did.
For you guys, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No, also, Kobe's interception. Do any of those plays stand out as more consequential than the others to you?
Oh, you guys are so good at that. I can't always process which one happened when, but I mean, you can see. I mean, Kobe Bryant's a really good corner, with great ball skills and anticipation, and did a really nice job. I thought our pressures and run and pass stunts and things did a nice job. I can't say what, but I noticed different guys. I saw Eddie Wilson, I saw Sam Burt, I saw Jeremy Robinson, Lonnie Phelps, Malcolm Lee, Hayden Hatcher. I saw some, you know, Taiwan Berryhill made one early. That was huge. So all those are there. Maybe I give you a better one too. I'm sorry.
I'll ask you.
Last week you talked about taking a quick minute to just look around, see the stadium full, and kind of what that meant, what you've been building toward. Today you had a hard time getting off the field. A lot of people out there. Was there anything that stood out about that celebration with your players, with the fans? Anybody say anything that was unique that stood out to you?
No, I just wonder who's going to pay the fine.
We'll figure that out.
No, I did. You know, we don't have time now, but you can look back 1993, there was at Wisconsin, there was a field, and I was part of that. The biggest thing is safety, and you don't want to take away from it. So honestly, at a certain point, after a little bit of celebration and doing some other obligations out there, it's more about safety, to be honest. And the players don't always understand that because, they want to be out there and be part of it, and, they probably think I'm old and taking away their fun, but, there is some stuff to that, but, yeah, another great crowd, and I guess I should publicly thank them, and they are a difference, and you can hear it, and, hope to see you again next week.
Lance,